Hey guys, Gathering Magic back again, and it's time for part 2 of the Splinterlands Market Watch for September 14th, 2025. So we're going to do a deep dive into the card market, starting with Alpha. So looking here at the Alpha Commons, cheapest common currently is 23 cents, the Haunted Spider and the Saber Shark. These cards range in price all the way up to, let's take out the promo, just look at the core set, 55 cents for the Feral Spirit. So these are your Alpha Commons, and how many are currently on the marketplace. Moving on to rares. We've got a couple just under $1. Pit Ogre at 96 cents. Silver Shield Paladin at 99 cents. All the way up to Medusa at $4.30. And looking just at the rare Archons, range in price from $1.10 for Malric all the way up to $2.29 for Ulrich. Okay, next let's take a look at the Epic card. So $3.83 for the Dark Enchantress, up to $9.95 for the Screaming Banshee. And then finally your Legendary cards. Cheapest one is $30, Angel of Light, up to Lord of Darkness at $230. And that is for a max copy, so there's no single copies currently available on the marketplace, but you can pick up a fully leveled Lord of Darkness for $230, so just under $30 per card. And then looking at the gold foil versions, your commons range from $11, $12 up to $499.99 for the Pirate Captain. Your rares, $38 for Clay Golem, up to just under $1,000 for the Haunted Spirit. You can see there's not very many of these on the market. There are 20 cards in the rare slot for Alpha, but only 8 of them are currently on the marketplace. Epics, there's only 3 out of the, I believe there's 10. $200 for Defender of Truth, $229 for Swamp Thing, and Mischievous Mermaid is sitting at $498, only one currently on the market. And then finally your legendaries. The only gold foil Alpha legendary currently for sale is a single Lord of Darkness for $1,450, and there are only 21 of these cards in circulation. Okay, so let's look now at the promo cards. So these are all the promo cards that are available in Alpha. Regular foil common for $9.90, the rares at $45, Epic at $20.25, rare gold foil $100, and then Shinlo legendary gold foil for $1,700. Okay, next let's look at beta, just the core and reward cards. So your commons range 5 cents are the cheapest ones, all the way up to 27 cents for the Cobalt Miner. Your rares start at 24 cents for the Pirate Archer, all the way up to surprisingly $3.71 for the Skeletal Warrior, and that is because this is a level 4 card. You can see individual, you're looking at 25 cents to 33 cents per card. So this card should be, one of your cheaper rares, but since there's no individual cards on the marketplace, that's why that is in the #1 position currently. Other than that, it would be Ulrich at $1.82. Just looking at the Archons here, you can see the range from 27, 28 cents up to $1.82. Your epics start at 64 cents for Dahlia Dragonscale Summoner, up to $6.86 for the Dark Enchantress. Just look at the Archons here. You can see the prices here and how many are currently on the marketplace. And then finally your legendary cards start with Sacred Unicorn at $4.21. all the way up to $99.53 for Lord of Darkness. And that is for a level 3. You can get a fully maxed Lord of Darkness beta for about $13 a card. $145 is the cheapest for a max level version. You can see some of the other key cards in the set. Voldemort is sitting at $35. Prince Renan is at $89, and this is for a level 3. So there are no individual copies on the marketplace. The cheapest max level card you're looking at right around $139. And then also I saw this Cryptmancer for $66. That is a max level. So for about $6 a card, you can have a max level Cryptmancer. That might be a good deal for someone looking for an older Archon. Okay, that's it for beta legendaries. Now let's look at the gold foil versions. So starting with your gold foil commons, just a couple under $2. So $2 is about the floor for a gold common beta card. All the way up to $5.50 for the Silver Shield Knight. And remember too, with beta card commons, they don't start at level 3 like a lot of the newer sets do. You can see here they start at level 4. So keep that in mind. So if you're looking to pick up some older cards for commons, they still do take 38 copies to max them out, but they start at level 4 as opposed to level 3. Oops. Let's go back to the market. Okay, now let's look at the rare cards. Rare cards start at just about $8. Up to $235 for Pit Ogre. This is probably, yep, this is a level 7, so that's why that card is so expensive. Looking just at gold Archons, you can see here they range from $15.50 up to $84. This is actually for a 1 BCX card. But you could get a fully maxed one for the low price of, well, that's not fully, yes, no, that's not fully maxed, that's level 7, $1,500, but still, you're looking at $75 or higher per card. Seems a little bit high for that one, especially when Ulrich is sitting there at about $27 to $30 per card. But those are your Archons. Next at the Epics. Epics start $28 for Fire Spitter, all the way up to $235 for Serpent of the Flame. And then finally your gold legendaries from beta, $400 for the Kraken, all the way up to over $5,000 for Prince Renan. You can see the only one in the marketplace. A lot of these are just individual. Well, it looks like all of them are just individual copies that are on the marketplace. Okay, next let's look at your promos. So your regular foil promos. We went through the prices on part 1, but I just want to show you guys how many are currently on the marketplace. So we went through the prices on all these in part 1. You currently can see here how many of these are on the marketplace. So Archmage Arius and Prince Julian, looks like there's 3 of each. And then the gold versions, you can see here 9 copies of Delwyn, 2 copies of the Bowman, and a single copy of the Fiendish Harpy. Okay, next let's go to Orb. So your commons, 5 to 17 cents. Your rares, 27 cents for the Undead Archer, 37 cents for the Eels, and 62 cents for the Silver Shield Bard. The 2 epics in the set, 90 cents for the Healer, and $2.24 for the Dwarven Wizard. And your 3 legendary cards, Lord of Fire, $5.13, Minotaur Warlord, $9.48, and Corrupted Pegasus, $12.99. Gold foils, basically $2 to $2.28 for the Armor Smith. Your 3 rares, $11 up to $145 for the Undead Archer, but that is for a level 7. Your epics, just the healer for 45, and then finally your legendary is just the corrupted Pegasus for 405. Okay, that's it for beta. So now Untamed, Corn Reward. Commons start at a penny. Go all the way up to 23 cents for the Goblin Fireballer. Your rares start at 4 cents. All the way up to 56 cents for Pyre. Take a look at the Archons. Your Archons range, look at this, 14, 16, 19 cents, 24 cents, and then Pyre jumps to 56. Your Epics start at 18 cents. All the way up to 75 cents for the Sorcerer. And then your legendaries, $1.68 for the Diamond Dragon, all the way up to $31.98 for Kitty. You can see here how many are in circulation on the market. I wish they had the circulating numbers on the front like they used to. Like right now it shows 12 kitties on the market. There's 1,129 total Byzantine kitties available. Okay, now gold foil versions. Gold foil start at right around 50 cents a piece for the commons, up to $1.90 for the Undead Badger. Your rares, you're looking at $1.88, $1.93, so right around $2 is the floor for gold rare. Up to $16 for the Unicorn Mustang. Your epics start at $10, all the way to almost $57 for the Chief. And then finally your gold legendary cards, you can see here, $80 for the Diamond Dragon, all the way up to $780 for the Scale Doctor. Some key cards, Kitty at $620, Jotun just under $420, Llama and Kron both $345, Mimosa $270, Lear Deep Swimmer $200, Chancius just under $160. All right, let's look next at the promo cards. So these are your promos. So Halfling Alchemist 98 cents, Chain Golem 33.43, Mighty Dricken $400, and the gold foils that are available, Halfling Alchemist for $39.99 and Chain Golem for $109. Okay, let's move on to dice. So the dice, very small set, commons 1 cent to 15. The rares, which are the summoners, so you can see here, My Lord is not the most expensive. It is now Lorna Shine at 59 cents. My Lord is sitting at 57 cents. Ouster 54, Bright and Bloom 27, and then the bottom two, Quid at 15 cents and Vera at 18. The three epics right here, 34 cents up to 75. And your legendary cards, the key ones are usually Opponent and Crawless. You can see here, Opponent is actually under 10 bucks. So I can remember for a while this is $20 to $40 card. So it's now $8. And Crawless seems to range anywhere from like 12 to mid to upper 20s. So currently is sitting at $18.81. Gold foil versions, basically 50 cents to $1 for the commons. Your rares, which are your Archons, $2.60 up to $8.80. Epics, $13 to $14.46. And then finally your gold legendary cards, $100 to $500 for Two Gun Pete. All right, let's go on to Chaos Legion. So no surprises here when it comes to Chaos Legion prices. You know, there's still, it shows how many are on the market, 800, but then when you look how many are in circulation, Still above 1.3 million of these cards. But as plentiful as the regular foils are, the commons are, or the gold foils are not so much. So 1 to 4 cents for these. Let's go to the rares. So now your rares, you're looking at 2 cents is the floor, all the way up to 17 cents for Kalia. Earlier today that was 11, so it's already gone from 11 to 17 since I'm doing part 2. So prices on some of these change very, very quickly. 8 cents is the floor for the epics from Chaos Legion, up to 19 cents for Ginniferni. And then finally your legendary cards start. The floor is now 41 cents, all the way up to Immortalis, $1.78, Lily at $1.71, Sibylis, $1.49, Yasik, $1.30, Grandmaster Wraith, $1.22, Quicks, $1.18, Astral Entity, $1.14. So under $2 for all of the legendary Archons. And now my favorite, the gold foil. So your gold foil cards start at 14 cents is the floor, all the way up to 98 cents for the Scavo Hireling. And now let's take a look to see how many max level cards there are for gold foil. So now you start getting at, you could get a max gold foil copy for under $6 for a couple of these. So if you're looking for fire or earth, you know, you can get these for under $6 for a max copy. And you can get a decent selection, it looks like, for $8 or less. You can get, it looks like, most of the splinters here. I'm seeing fire, I'm seeing neutral, death, earth, water. One thing that I wanted to point out, and I know a lot of people kind of overlook it, I've been thinking about maybe starting to go for the gold foils that are neutral. The reason being is they are so diverse that you can put these on any plot and not have that 50% penalty. Because one of the things I've run into is for some of my plots I would get, like, let's say for example I got hills and I bought maxed Jinchwalas, and they're nice for hills, they're nice for I believe it's also plains, but if I want to move them anywhere else I'm going to take a penalty. So I would almost rather just have a neutral, not get that extra 10% bonus, but have the flexibility of being able to move it anywhere. So just something that I wanted to share with you guys. Because they also tend to be a little bit on the cheaper side. Because like here for the rares, you can see the cheapest rare is 80 cents, and you've got a couple neutrals that are right towards the bottom of that list. And the rares range all the way up to $4 for Venari Seedsmith, just for a multiple copy. Yes, this is for a level 4, so there's no individual copies. So if you're looking at individual copies, it's basically 80 cents to right around $2, it looks like. Now, how many max gold foil rares are there on the market? So now you're looking at, like, for example, the Monk neutral under $18, but there's only one. And you've got a couple death, couple water, another death. So you've got a decent selection, it looks like, for, let's say, $20, $21 or less. You can get most of the splinters. So that just kind of gives you a range of, if you're looking for max levels for land, this is about what you're going to pay. Okay, and then my favorite are the epics. So now your epics, once again, you're looking at a neutral card is the cheapest, just under $4. Magi of Chaos, Construct. I'm trying to remember what this used to be called. Didn't it used to be called Gem Meteor? Because that name is different. But you can see the cheapest one here are the epics, or the neutrals. So once again, if you're looking for land, I'm really starting to think about going for these. Currently, like, I need ones for my grain plots, so I need earth and I need water. So I'm working on those currently. Once I get complete copies of those, then I think going forward I'm going to just go for the neutrals so that I can move them around as need be. You can see here they range all the way up to $6 for the Prismologist. Let's look at the max copies. So once again, you can get a max neutral for around $35, where the other ones for the most part are going to cost you, $42 up to $57 if you can get a max copy. So you can see here all of these are just single copies, so there's not very many on the marketplace. Even though there is a ton of Chaos Legion regular foils, not a lot of the golds, especially when you get to the epic and the legendaries. Legendary, the floor earlier today was $25. This one must have just come in. Soul Spawn is at $22.40. All the way up to $120 for a gold Immortalis. But you can see after that single copy of $120, it goes down to under $50. So you're looking at basically $25 to $50 for a gold legendary from Chaos Legion. But you can see here, there are not many on the marketplace. It's not like there's, 100 or 200 of these things on the market. Very, very few. Let's look at Astral Entity. So there's a total of just under 500 currently in circulation, but only 4 on the market. And then for max copies for the gold foils, you're looking at right around $100 up to $200. And once again, look at how short this list is for max gold foil legendaries for Chaos Legion. Okay, so now let's look at the reward cards from Chaos Legion. So we'll start with the regular foil commons. As we went through in part 1, 7 to 21 cents. You can see how many are on the market. And the rares, 29 to 60 cents. Your epics, $1.34 to $4.95. And then finally your legendary cards. There's 12 in the set. There's 11 listed here. Anywhere from $5.50 up to $69.95. The one that's missing, I believe, is Avis, the other life card. Gold, $1.31 to $10.50 for the commons. $4.89 to $150 for the rares. Once again, there's 4 of them that are not on the marketplace. Your epics, $10.50 to $46.55. And then finally your gold legendaries. Only 8 of the 12 are available, from $66.67 for Tracious Hulk up to $300 for a suit. Alright, let's look at your promos now. Just the regular foil promos. We went through all these in part 1, so I just kind of want to show you guys how many are currently on the market. So you can see here, a couple hundred, 165, 18 Dr. Blight, 10 Wakas are on the market, and 16 Lux Vegas. And then for the gold versions, of course, much, much less. 5 Dr. Blights, 4 Oshurs, 6 Zerials, and only 1 Waka for that 448. Alright, let's look now at Rift Watchers. So Rift Watchers are looking at 1 to 4 cents for the commons. Your rares, 3 cents. And then I've noticed some price spikes here because these, with everything else, prices have been drifting lower. So usually the rares are, 3 cents to maybe 20, 25 cents. So to see 3 of these, 44, 48, 54 is pretty high for a set that is, no longer in modern, only used in wild. I'm kind of surprised at the strength that these 3 cards are selling at currently. Then your epics, 18 cents for Dallin, up to $1.49 for Ilthane. There's the correct graphics there. And then finally your legendaries. The one card that really rebounded nicely was Inevitable. For a while this card was, what, $6, $8? So now it is rebounded to, $16 to $18 per card seems to be the normal price range for that card. You can pick up a complete copy for just under $180. Okay, then looking at the gold foil versions, 17 cents to 94 cents for your commons, 72 cents to 4.25 for your rares. Your epics, which are your archons, 4.48 for Dallin, up to $10 for Thispa. And then finally your legendaries. You can see here gold legendaries are holding pretty close to $30 for the floor, up to 115 for Coral Lurker. And I noticed the one card missing. There's no gold foil inevitable currently for sale. All right, that's it for the Rift Watchers. Now, Rebellion. So your core Rebellion cards, 2 to 3 cents for the commons, up to 33 cents to 76 cents for your archons. And then this card at $2 kind of surprised me. It's because there's not very many on the marketplace. There's only one single copy for $2. Other than that, you can see this is probably a 21 to 26 cent card normally, but just not very many on the market for that particular card. Okay, moving to the rares. Now you're looking at 8 to 10 cents is the floor, up to $1 for the Soothsayer. Your epics, 30 cents for the Karst Harpy, up to, this card has really taken off, the Scion, up to $2.75. And then finally your epic, or your legendary cards. We went through a lot of the key cards in part 1, so I just kind of want to show you the current prices on the other cards and how many are currently on the marketplace. So you guys can have this as a timestamp. This card too in the last few months has really gone up. I remember for my $10 account, Gedfer, I had saved up some funds and picked up a Lord Thanalor. He was $3 and something, like $3.50, $3.60, and I thought, for 3 magic damage, that's pretty good, so I had, $3 and I picked him up. Very glad I did. He's up to $14.50. Nidhogger at 49 kind of surprised me, but this is for a single BCX because there's no individual cards on the marketplace, but you can see individual cards should be selling still in that $14 to $17 range. So don't think that individual copies of Nidhogger are going for 49 normally. This should be a card that's right around this range right in here, 14 to 17. Tofu is continuing to slide down to 46. I still think at some time in the not too distant future, Lorcus is going to flip Tofu, and Lorcus will be the #1 card in the set. Golds, so gold commons. You guys know I love my gold cards, so commons very affordable. So especially if you're playing in bronze deck, you just need a single copy of one of these and you are good to go, and you'll get that 10% bonus. So 55.60 cents is the floor, up to 12.40. Your gold rares start at 89 cents. Look at the big price jump, 89 cents up to $1.65. So I think this one's very underpriced. This should be probably closer to $1.60. So it should be $1.60 and up, close to $2 for the rares. One of my personal favorites, I love the Chaos Jailer, sitting there at just under $4. And Sea Dog of 8 at 24.37, simply because this is a max level card. You can see 4 level max level cards on the market, and that is it for Sea Dog of 8. So not many on the market, all 4 max level. Okay, next for your epics, 6.57 for Executioner Kron, up to 17.68 for the Great Porcupine. And then finally your legendary gold foils. Once again, we went through prices in part 1. Just want to show you guys so you can see how many are in circulation on the market. And notice the numbers on a lot of these. 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. There are not very many of these gold foil legendaries on the marketplace. So if we get that huge influx of players and they come in with money and want to buy cards, yep, where are the cards going to come from? Okay, the promo cards too, we went through all of these in part 1. So we're just going to scroll through quickly so you can see prices, amount on the market. A lot of the legendary gold foils are not on the marketplace and have not been for the last few weeks. But there are your promos and your reward cards. We'll look at regular foil. Your commons go from 9 to 10 cents. And yes, I still need to work on finishing. I would love to get max of each of the common cards. Just trying to find the time to grind modern to get that glint. I've been playing Frontier mode, as you guys know. Rares, 33 to 48 cents. Your epics, $1.65 to 40. And then the legendary cards, just under $10 for the Endless Gibbon, up to $12.50 for the Chaos Battle Mage. And then the gold foil versions of the reward cards, $2.44 to $3.60. Your rares, $8.53 to $16.50. Your epics, $45 to $90. And no legendaries on the marketplace. All right, we're almost to the end, guys. We're almost there. Conclave Arcana. Now, before I forget, let's start with the extra. So, Arena Fanatic. So this is the one that you get by watching Twitch streaming. So you can see it. I have a hard time believing there's 2,100 of these cards out there. It seems like it's taken people a long time just to get one, but even though it says there's 2,164 in circulation, there's only 16 on the market, so not very many of these cards out there. So let's go back to the core set. So your commons, you're looking at 3 cents up to, this one has just spiked recently. It was 3 to 10. Now you've got 20 cents for the Ashen Cindergrim. Your rares, how are the Archons doing? So 15 cents is the cheapest rare. In your Archons, you're looking at $1.17 for Gorgug, $1.38 for Kavor, $1.52 for Fifth, $1.52 for Razzie, $1.72 for Kalia, and Bella is sitting at $1.85. The Epics, 54.55 cents is the floor, up to $1.08 for Lucky Longshot. So once again, if you are a new player or you're just starting, your modern deck, one of the things I always suggest people to doing is start with just level 1 everything. Try to get all the Archons level 1. For the rare ones, don't worry about the legendaries. Get at least 1 copy of each common and rare. And you can see a lot of the epics are affordable as well. Just having a single copy of these can go a long way. So just try to keep that in mind. These are very affordable, for a new player. You start getting to the legendaries, now you're getting to, $4 to $5 a piece or higher. So it may not be attainable, but if you're just starting out, just try to build the base of your deck. A single gold common, 1 of each rare, 1 of each epic. So there are your cards here. Going for gold commons, looking at 48 cents up to 57 cents for the floor, up to $1.90 for the Vicious Giraffe. So you can see here I'm trying to get at least 1 of all the gold commons. So I've got that done, at least on this account. The rares is another story. So $2.35 up to $16.68 for Razzie. Have mentioned to pick up the gold Archons here. I just need to get Kavor. Your gold epics, $8.81 for Hodlor, up to $12.87 for Blazebeard. And then finally your gold legendaries, Decrepit Windseer at just under $53, up to $2.50 for Jakaria the Rhyme. Alright, now we start getting into the variants. So let's look at common, just the black foil cards. Beautiful cards. You can see $1.05, $1.05, I wish $1.05. $105 to $110 is the cheapest commons, up to $2.50 for the Sage. Your rares, you can see a lot shorter list, $300 to $750 for Bella. Your epics, just have these 3. In fact, these 2 were just added in the last couple hours. When I did this earlier, part 1, this was the only card listed for $5.80. So it looks like circulation number 24 for the epics. And then your legendary, yep, just Desolation for under 1,500. Your gold, arcane, this is it. This is all of them. Every rarity. All commons and a couple of rares. And then your black arcane, the only one, the Hucker, common for $600. So that is it for the core. Now for the promos, let's go by rarity. So starting course with the pickle, 5 cents, $1.97 for the gold foil, 148 for the gold arcane, numbered to 50. And then the black foil, 286. How many of these are there? 111. Oh, and congrats to the Splinterlands 101 crew that actually does have mint number 101. That is too cool that they have number 101 for their show, which is Splinterlands 101. So congrats to them. Moving on to the rares. Arcane Skinwalker, 74 cents. Gold foil, 7.79. Arcane Skinwalker Black foil, 6.49. Your epics, Tososhi at 3.80 with the gold foil at 41.50. And then your legendaries, Grimelda Hunger at 15.69, gold foil at 1.45, and Archmage Yabanus at 1.50. And I believe, is that it? Have we gone through everything? I think we have looked at every card. So there you have it, guys. There's the Splinterlands Card Market Watch, number 44. Part 2, September 14th, 2025 is the timestamp. So hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, wait, you thought I was going to end it. I almost forgot. I'm so used to going from alpha all the way up. We forgot that new set. Is anybody playing this? Wait a minute. Hey, come here. Yeah, you. Is anybody playing this? No? What? How many entries are there for tomorrow morning? 60,000? Wait, 60,000? Yeah, somebody's playing this. Okay, so there are a few people playing this thing. I think it's called Frontier Mode. Maybe you've heard of it. So let's take a look at this. Oh, what do we got? Commons, regular foil. You knew the commons were going to go down in price. You're looking at, wow, they're all a penny now. There was a couple at 2 or 3 cents, but commons are basically a penny. Your rares range from 1 cent. The archons have really come down in price, still 27 cents to 65 cents for your archons. Your epics, 4 cents to 85 cents for Saltwater Mage. Your legendary cards, 14 cents and 24 for the 2 starter ones, up to, look at this, Mystic Scale Weaver is under $5 at 4.60. And then your gold versions, your commons are 9 cents to 33. Your rares, 12 cents to 4.90, so even the archons have come down. Your epics, 58 cents to 9.50 for Saltwater Mage. And then finally your legendary cards, $7.40 for the Salamander, up to $27 for the Mystic Scale Weaver. Now the cool thing is, let's look, how many black foils are on the market? Wow, there's actually one for under $10. Now that would be cool to own. So if there's got to be somebody out there that for $10 is going to buy this card. Just too cool. Even though it's not max level, I realize it's max silver. Still, look at how cool these cards are. So you're looking at $9.95, and this is all the rarities put together, so they're not separate. All the way up to $2,000 for the Time Bandit. So these are all the black foil cards for Foundation mode that are currently, or Frontier mode, that are currently available for sale. The gold arcane, you're looking at $20 up to $500 for the Port Guardian. So these are numbered, I believe, is it 50? Yep, 50 for the commons. And then the black arcane, you can see there's actually a few that have been pulled, along with a couple of archons. So the death archon is 400, the fire one is 497. So you can see the only ones on the marketplace. So once again, awesome cards. Like I said, tomorrow morning is the drawing, so make sure you guys are playing. Make sure that you have some entries. I didn't have as many entries this week as I had previously. I've got 45 entries on my main for tomorrow. So after this video, I'm going to go try to grind my couple alt accounts, see if I can get a few more entries. Currently, I am selling my packs just to come up with a little bit of extra funds for those accounts so that they can purchase some cards in Modern. So that is it for the Card Market Watch. Okay, this time is really the end of the video. So remember, get your battles in. Good luck tomorrow. I will do a video. I will check the winners list. I hope to see your name on the list. And until then, stay the course, keep on frontiering, and have fun. Take care.